Hello and welcome to November 2019's PS Plus Roundup. This month our games were Nioh and Outlast 2, and I'll start by talking about Nioh. So it took up 55.2 gigabytes on the PlayStation. It was developed by Team Ninja. It was released in 2017. It was a PlayStation 4 exclusive, and now it is available on PC as well. It is an action RPG, I'm pretty sure, but basically it's Japanese Dark Souls. So this game did not start how I expected it to start. See, I've never played the Dark Souls games, but I've watched them, and they're not, to me, they don't feel like they're set in reality. Do they? I don't think they're meant to be. I could be sounding really stupid right now because maybe they are based, like, I suppose Bloodborne feels Victorian Englandy, but this is literally set in an alternate real reality, kind of. So they actually reference real events of history in real places, and that surprised me from the very start, and I really liked it. I think things like that help me invest in it more, especially when I don't know anything about the world that they are building. So it all felt very surreal to me. The opening scene, I'm not going to go any further into the game than what I played, but the opening scene which is all I kind of did, was set in the Tower of London, which, like, it keeps cropping up in, like, media lately, like, because I went this year, I went to London on holiday and we did the tower. And then the next week, Spider-Man Far From Home was out, and that was a scene there set at Tower of London. I was like, how is just there? How weird is this? And then, obviously, just now, having that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm glad that I've played this after I went there, because it's cool having the little bit of knowledge about the place, kind of a familiarity, like, but obviously in the game, it's not presented as it is now. It's not totally accurate, but it's presented back in the day, how it might have been, and I really like that. Talking about Queen Elizabeth and stuff, it gives you a bit of a time frame, and I've always been a fan of when things get integrated into reality, especially when it's like, not that it could have been, but like the way they were presenting it, it's like this secret thing so that it could have been, you know? So I like it. I really do like it. So what makes it a Dark Souls type game is the mechanics. Basically, for anyone that doesn't know, in Dark Souls, you get like a set number of like medicine. It's called Estus, I think, in Dark Souls, but in Nioh it was called medicine. And you get 3 to start off with generally. And they'll restore your health, or most of your health, and then basically you go around killing things. It's never like easy, and then you get to these shrines, or in Dark Souls it's bonfires, and if you pray at a shrine or sit at the bonfire, you get your medicine back, so it goes back up to 3. However, all of the enemies everywhere that you've killed respawn. So, except not the bosses usually, but they all respawn. So obviously, if you've gone through a section, all your progress is reset. Kind of. You'll still have whatever your currency is. I didn't even get to that in Nioh, but I'm pretty sure it's there. And you will have your stats and stuff like that. But everything else, like that you've killed and stuff, are all back. So if you want to go back through that path again, you have to kill everything again. And that's pretty much what defines the mechanics for me, is that. And then you can use the currency that you've earned killing things. In Dark Souls, it's souls. I'm not sure what it is in Nioh. To then upgrade your character. You can eventually you get through to upgrading your weapons and stuff like that, but I didn't get that far in this game. You can carry a main weapon, a secondary weapon, and then a ranged weapon and a secondary ranged weapon is what I got from the menu. However, I didn't get to a ranged weapon yet. And then there are plenty of items as well. and often you get some of the lore from reading the description of the items. Again, I'm not sure how true that is in Nioh. I'm thinking it is, but also in Nioh there was other sections to the menu telling you about the events, like giving you some info, and I quite liked reading them actually. It was very good. And all of this builds this world rather than, there's not really many cutscenes. Well, I'm saying that. There was a couple in Nioh, wasn't there? Generally, there's not that many cutscenes. And the other thing about Souls games are the boss fights. And then obviously there's no checkpoints, so if you die, you go back to your shrine with your medicine, your pills, and then you have to make your way back to the boss. Usually there's some enemies on the way that you need to kill. You need to not mess that up so that you can keep your medicine for the boss. Usually, it takes a few tries to do them, and then that's another defining factor of the Souls games. So and like the progressively tougher enemies, so sometimes you might end up in an area that you feel like you shouldn't be yet, and you're kind of free to go back to it when you feel ready. There is usually kind of an optimal way to do it, but you don't know that the first time you play. So I even found that in Nioh, like the nights that I got to, they were like hard. I feel like I took a wrong turn somewhere. I feel like maybe I should have gone out through the courtyard or something, or gone up them stairs or something, because I did make it to the first boss, and maybe I could have done it if I'd kept trying, but I didn't want to take everyone's time, or maybe I couldn't, and maybe I needed to do more exploring first. Maybe I would have found a ranged weapon. Not that I don't think the ranged weapon would have helped. But as far as combat goes, you've got your general hitting, kicking, using your weapon, light attack, heavy attack is what I meant to say there. Then you can lock onto your enemy. I know there is more to it in Nioh, especially compared to other Dark Souls games as well. Oh no, you've got your dodge and your block as well. But yeah, I know that it goes into more depth into this in Nioh from playing the open beta of Nioh 2. Now in that game, stance comes into it, so high, mid and low stance, as well as is it your key, like there are other elements. It's timing, it's all to do with timing. If you do an attack and then you press a button at the right time, then you get some sort of boost, something like that. However, I feel like maybe that will happen. I have got a feeling something must happen to the character, maybe, for that to be able to happen, because it wasn't happening in the tower, was it? So it would have been cool to have seen what happened after you kill that first boss. I thought I killed the first boss, but it psyched me out. I thought the movement actually felt really good, like even just in the beginning when I was playing around with the buttons, like the kicks felt like they had weight to them. I was like, I would not want to be holding the pads for this guy in kickboxing class because I would go flying across the room with that push kick that he had at the beginning. And then the weapons, there was 3 different types as far as I got. So there was, again, that was kind of your standard. You had a sword, then you had like a long sharp one, or a battle axe, short heavier type thing. So kind of catering for all your standard bits of gameplay. There's a lot of loot, so if you explore, like there's not always something around every corner, but there's usually something. Doesn't have to be something good, but there's usually something. So like, if you noticed, if you did watch my video, if you always go the wrong way first, which I think is a good way to do it, and to be fair, you don't know which way is the wrong way until you go there, but if you go the wrong way, clear out the area, usually you are going to find something, a crate with something in it, which is it might give you a nice new piece of gear, or it might just give you something crap, but it's worth the risk. And it's a good way to get you to explore the level, get some more experience fighting the enemies, and also the level design is another big factor in the Souls games. So, and I really like the level design in this game, but again, I don't know if it's because it was based on the Tower of London or what, but something that often happens in the Souls games is you'll come to some form of dead end, a locked door, something. That's what I came to, was a locked door, and I was like, I know what's going to happen here. So you get further into the level, you explore some more, and eventually you will come to the other side of this door or whatever. You open it and it'll lead you straight back to your shrine, so that next time you want to go and pray, get your medicine back, you don't have to go around that whole area to get to where you go next. Now you've just got a shortcut way through. I really like that about the Souls games, and I think they can do it in some creative ways sometimes. I'm sure Nioh will be no different. So considering I call it Japanese Dark Souls, we didn't even make it to Japan. I mean, they made it clear that that's where we are going if we can escape from the tower, which I never did. But I've got a feeling that Japan will be a really cool setting. Again, I don't know if it'll be a real Japan or fantasy Japan or what, but I think if you enjoyed, if you played it and you enjoyed the beginning, I think it's worth sticking around to see the rest of the settings, because they usually do quite well. And the setting in Nioh 2 was nice in the beta. I felt like it was a good entry point. Like, when I keep going back to Nioh 2 because that's all I've got to compare it with really, but when I consider doing the open beta there, that was a massive learning curve. Like, it would take me a long time to even start to master the controls and the fighting. There's a lot to think about. It's very good combat. It's not just mindless stuff, and it kind of dropped you right in it, basically. Whereas this one, it felt progressive. This did kind of feel like a tutorial level. It wasn't holding your hand, but it was forgiving enough for you to be able to figure it out yourself. So I think that this is a good entry point for anyone that's interested in these kind of games, because it didn't feel too punishing to me, especially at this beginning when you don't have the consequence of losing your souls or whatever it is that you get, because I wasn't even, as far as I could see, I couldn't find that I was collecting any. And then if I went back, that's another feature of the Souls games, is that you collect your currency to spend on your skills, but then if you die, you lose everything that you're carrying. You have to get back to that exact same spot if you want to recover those souls. If you die again on the way, you lose them forever. So there's quite a pressure of keeping your souls, but also spend them. As soon as you've got the opportunity, just spend them. And then it's better, you kind of want to be walking around light, well, not literally light weight heavy wise, but just light burden wise, so that you don't have to worry about dying all the time. So overall, yeah, I really liked Nioh. Again, it's another one that I'm going to watch. If I ever get tempted to, I may pick it up again and try and at least kill that boss. But I feel like I probably won't, because I'm a very frustrated little person. So I think that is going on my watch list, and I do recommend it, actually. Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for the whole game, but obviously that's not the point of this roundup. The point is just I've tried it and I liked it, and I think others would like it as well, especially if you like combat and Souls games. Just expect something a little bit different, that's all. Don't go into it expecting Dark Souls, go into it expecting Nioh. It's just a flavour of Dark Souls. I think that's what you should get from all the Souls type games. You're looking for a flavouring, not for a direct copy. So that is my summary of Nioh. Play it. So game number 2. Is it even worth me talking about? Game number 2 was Outlast 2. It took up 21 gigabytes on my PlayStation, and it was released in 2017. It's a first-person psychological horror survival video game developed and published by Red Barrels. This was a stressful game, and I only played about 15 minutes. And you know what? In that 15 minutes, did anything scary even happen? Did it? I mean, it was creepy, but I don't remember being jump scared. But then again, I wasn't really looking at the TV, so... So, as far as the concept of the game goes, I can explain that. I can't really give you a judgment on it, but I can explain technically what happened. So, we are a man, and our wife is a reporter, and she is investigating the death of a woman in a remote place, a suspicious death of a pregnant woman in a remote area. And yeah, we're a husband and we're also a cameraman. So basically, we're carrying the camera. We are filming. We can choose when to film, when not to film, but you get a hint saying anytime that anything might happen, you need to be filming. But it's not just... That's like, you would think maybe that's just a reason for it being first person, but I don't think it is. Because you also can then go into your like camera, watch footage back, rewind it, fast forward it, zoom in on it, I think, as well. So I think there might be a bit of puzzle work there in further into the game, but I didn't see the relevance of them features as I was playing, but they felt relevant, so I thought it was definitely worth a mention. So what happened was something went wrong and we ended up separated. We had a weird dream and that was kind of it. The dream was scary, being separated was scary, and it's nighttime. That's kind of the most detail that I can go into. So it seems the first aim of the game, I don't know if this is the aim for the whole game or just the beginning, is to find our wife. It's all that matters apparently. So through us and the lens of our camera, we go on a search for her. I made it about 10 meters and noped out basically. Well, there was some light, so it was okay. I could see what was going on. Then it introduced night vision, so we do have night vision on our camera. So whenever we're walking in the dark, we're going to need to go through our camera. And I don't like night vision. I don't like the dark. It's scary. Things jump out at you. That never happened to me on this game, but I know it's going to happen. I'm not stupid. So that's when I kindly noped out. But I'm going to watch it for sure. I'm actually going to watch the first one because I do not know how much this relates to the first one. So I'm going to watch both. I feel like it's an amazing idea. I don't know where they're going to go with it. There seems to be some resource management a little bit. So you have batteries, as far as I could tell, for the camera in your left pocket. And in your right pocket, you've got bandages. I don't want to know what the bandages are for because obviously something must attack you, but I don't know what. I do want to know. I didn't want to know while I was playing. So, and it's really cool the way that you can access that because like you can hold up your camera to look at the menu, or you can look down at your pockets to choose what it is that you need. So that was really cool, and count how many you've got as well. Like it's all displayed to you as it is on this in real life. So from his eyes, it's not all through the camera. So I just really like the whole idea. But to me, it was like, is that not the perfect setup for Blair Witch game? Don't you think? Like, I can't think of a better Blair Witch game. So I've got no idea if it's got any relation. I don't think it has, but I feel like it should. Because like for that style of film, it's just the perfect, like it's better than the film. Like to be able to then not look through the camera and be there and then look through the camera, you know. I don't know if it's better than the film because I've never actually seen it, but I do like found footage films. We had to make something at college and I chose to do a found footage thing because I just like the whole idea of it so much. So it is a bit strange because I guess found footage films are kind of past tense, aren't they? It's the stuff that's already happened. This isn't a found footage game. This is because you are doing it at the time. actions are what is happening. So it's not a found footage game. So I guess the Blair Witch idea is a bit unfair, but I still think it's the perfect setup for a game like that. I know there has been a Blair Witch game, but I don't know anything about it. I should probably look into it, really, just out of curiosity. What else? There's not really a lot more to say about that game. It just felt, very mystery. It's horror, but it felt mystery as well. I don't know how long it stays mystery. I felt that it was suspenseful. I imagine that it may get hectic. I don't know, because at the beginning it gives you a hint and it says, basically, you can't fight. You can run, hide, or die. So that sounds frantic to me. Like, nah, I don't know what's worse, running or hiding. Oh, nah. Can't even think about it. Hate it. I don't hate it, but I hate it. Overall, I just kind of feel like this one would have been better for October, for in time for Halloween, instead of being just after Halloween when everyone's all a bit Halloweened out. I feel like if they could have switched Major League Baseball and Outlast 2, and it would have fit in better. Having said that, maybe there was a reason for baseball being that month, but I feel like if they'd done a switch, it would have been better timing for Halloween anyway. Because we don't, even though, you never get the games on the 1st. Unless we did, but I don't think we did. I think it was a pretty good month, personally. I can only apologise that the second video was so bad. And that I didn't get far enough into Nioh to be able to give you a real sense of the rest of the game. Because I felt like the first level did feel... It's the tutorial level. It's the unofficial tutorial level. That's what I want to call it. So I feel like maybe... I did rush a little bit as well. But as far as Outlast went, I just know, even right now, if I have all the time in the world, there's nothing that makes me want to play Outlast 2. It is something that I would like to potentially work on, getting more used to scary games, because why are they any worse than a scary film or a scare maze? Like, they shouldn't. Well, to me they are, because you're the one controlling it. You have to look at the screen. I think that's where my problem is. So hopefully we don't get no more horror games. Well, I don't want to say that, because people like horror, so maybe we'll get more horror games. I'll still try. I'll watch the intro. I'll watch the beginning cutscene and give my opinions, if that's the case. I'll always give it a go, but I just feel a bit... I know it wasn't a very good video, so I apologise for that. But anyone who's followed the series might understand it more than just someone just dropping in on that video. So it's not the best example. I suppose it's a good example of me as a person. I'm going to stop blabbering on now. But I think this is one of the better months, in my opinion. It was what I think could turn out to be very good games. So, very happy with this as a month for November. And I can't obviously predict December, because again, I've already played them. But the games are Titanfall 2 and Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. So, yeah, I'm going to leave you with that, because I have already played them, and I'm going to do a roundup for them too and discuss them there. So if you want to catch that, keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching or listening, and there's going to be videos and these out every day for the rest of the year, because I want to try and get everything out ready, fresh for 2020. So thanks for following, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in a few days' time. Thank you, bye bye.